Hey guys, it's been a while. There are a few exciting things coming up for the game. They've just recently opened up expressions of interest for a closed beta, so I thought I should get a video out with all my thoughts about where the game could go upon release, in case I get locked into an NDA if chosen for the beta. So first up, some stuff that we do know. There will 100% be a new map. They've talked about this at length, and it has been heavily requested. My thoughts about a new map: I'm expecting something more like a savanna or an open grassland with some forested areas that are going to act similar to the caves. I don't think there'll be the city, which was one that was requested in a poll that they did, nor do I think they'll have had time to create a jungle or to be able to get the jungle to work as intended. Some other things that they've definitely said will be happening are weapon reworks and weapon balance changes, which should be things like increased damage for some slight nerfs for others. Hopefully a new perk system that lets you pick a preference for things like sights rather than getting locked into needing to unlock perks for those. And also a way to see exactly what your upgrades do, such as giving damage numbers rather than a star rating. The one that they've currently got. Some new weapons as well. I'd be expecting to see maybe a melee weapon or a flamethrower, as they've both been the most heavily requested. Grenades and supply drops. I imagine that there'll be some new grenades and or supply choices will come out. There could be one similar to the healing station, which does need a severe buff, or one that may come out that increases armor or gives a damage reduction within its circle. There might be something like a pheromone grenade, and hopefully some other things that could be selected instead of health kits, or that give you the option to take grenades in that spot instead, so giving you the choice of having, say, an ammo pack and a grenade, which if you would rather sacrifice on health, which would probably make Rosie ridiculously strong, more so than she currently is. There could also be some new augments such as flat damage resistance, which would be less than the current adrenaline response, which gives you a very decent amount. There could be things like a flat speed buff, or even speed on kill, which they've got a few on kill buffs. One that could increase or lower cooldowns on your abilities. There could even be ones that do medkits or grenade capacity increases, as some of the previous screenshots of the game had it showing 5 medkits in alpha stage. Hero passives and ability balances. Some balance changes to heroes may also be something changed. Given that currently Amir's passive works on Symmetra, Jurgen's doesn't work at all. Rosie's still too powerful. Jurgen's Mark's Scent is a few seconds, probably too long. Jack's ability being counterintuitive on higher difficulties and only hits like a wet pool noodle. There are a number of things that they could change there to better improve hero selection. There may also be, or hopefully, more dinosaurs. In particular, a couple of new larger and medium-sized dinos. New boss dinos. Hopefully something maybe like a Spino or a Carnosaurus. Perhaps even a couple of Allosauruses that move around together, similar in like an arc fashion. Adding dashes and overmutated raptors to being small random encounters would be another more interesting approach to go with some of the things. Adding things as well like weather effects, having that snowstorm effect from Horde randomly hit specific regions of the tundra for periods at a time. So something where it might hit 2 regions and where you'll need to move away or find cover. Could be a cool interaction. This could also be a good lead in to having swarms that attack at intervals, like many similar games to this, thinking of like Deep Rock Galactic and Vermintide 2, where you'll have hordes come at certain time periods. I'm also hoping that there are more nameplates and a prestige system. The prestige system was teased last year with nameplates being shown without before they were ready, but I'm hoping that the prestige actually comes in as base both character total level, so total playing, as well as hero specific ones or class specific. I'd also like to see either the level cap either increased or have that sort of prestige where you can re-level it over and over. The implementation of an inventory system. Having an inventory when you can see how much of each material and your research, plus any extra augments you've collected, I think would be a really handy change. Obviously general bug fixes. There are numerous bugs rampant throughout the game that need to be addressed, specifically when playing in multiplayer, and the crashing just needs to stop. New missions. I think there'll be at least 3 to 4 new missions, as there was a nameplate that was teased at one point saying that you need to have 5-star on insane in 10 missions. So with the 6 already in the game, plus the expedition counting towards that, I'm assuming they'll have at least 3 new ones. My thoughts on what they might be could be holding down an area for a specific time as dinos attack, perhaps in a building. The standard escort mission that you'll usually find in every game. So go find someone or something that needs to be saved and escort it. I personally hate escort missions. Finding parts to fix a dropship or some sort of bridge or something, rather than just dropping in a new battery. You have to go to some random locations to find bits to fix or to salvage. I'm hoping there might be some new objectives or some fixes to current objectives, giving them some more randomness. So bringing back the 3 locations that the black box could be randomly, moving away from just having a 2 potential location system, which the game currently has. It's either here or it's there. You've only got a 50-50. And perhaps some new objectives that require you to do more. I've got no idea what that would look like, but I just feel like that would be something that could be cool. I'd also love to see like a little Dino Wiki or a bestiary that tells you about the dinos and tracks your kills. This could even be one that you research, so by getting a certain amount of kills of each type of dino, it updates, letting you know weak spots, the drops that they could have, their specific health numbers, locations in which they spawn, just a collection of things like that. Along with that, you could hopefully, I'm hoping to see some Horde improvements, making the Horde mode actually difficult by increasing dino damage and their resistances faster. So not just increasing the waves of flatbacks and bulls, that just becomes tedious rather than difficult. If some other changes to difficulty are implemented, that'd hopefully fix some of those issues. Adding a skip feature between waves or a wave skipper, so you could choose to add multiple waves of dinos into one. The leaderboard that they had suggested would be cool if they brought that back, or still implemented it. That was supposed to come out with Horde mode, but it was never quite ready at the time. So one that had maybe one for highest waves, most research, most kills. You could even do that for every specific mission, perhaps. If they got it to work for one thing, they could try it for more, and that could then add that sort of end game content of that competition between other players. Similar to how a Orcs Must Die 3 and those sorts of games have those global leaderboards. And you could also have leaderboards amongst your friends, so if you don't want to compete against everyone, just being the best out of your mates is usually pretty fun too. And finally, the elephant in the room, so to speak, is the difficulty within the game. I'm hoping to see a huge amount of changes around how easy the game currently feels, or how easy the game becomes after you've played for 3 hours, and picked up some weapon upgrades. The game becomes, yeah, just a cakewalk really, and that's something that it probably needs to work on. So things about increased dino spawns, increased dino damage that they can deal, better dino AI. The major one being increasing the current limit of how many dinos can attack you at once. The ability to stun lock the Rex, things that they've tried to implement changes to but haven't quite yet been successful with. This may also mean that they'll need to come up with an easier mode as well. I do think that normal at the moment is probably pretty easy, but they might need an easier mode still. I know, again, a lot of games have those 5 tiers. Deep Rock Galactic does. I know that Vermintide 2 does, where they've got those multi-level tiers. Also ways of, say, having upgrades during specific points, or different modifiers that happen in-game. So for whatever reason, you could add on modifiers to make the game harder or easier for yourself. So thinking games like Sanctum 2, like those, looking at old games, but those are the games that I play. But those sorts of modifiers that you could physically put on to your own games. A lobby system, that's really needed, more of a lobby based and text chat. So ones where you can actually write text, as the current system of voice chat is lackluster. But even being able to communicate, what do you want to do beforehand, or telling people, that would be really helpful. But yeah, those are essentially the changes I think I'm hoping to see. Some of them may or may not happen. Yeah, that's about all I've got. Yeah, hoping to see a lot in this closed beta. If I do see a lot, I unfortunately would not be able to talk about it. But yeah, as always guys, happy dino hunting.